king of European distance running is back, and he's back for blood. Coming off of injury after injury, doubt, and relentless pressure, Jakob Ingebrigtsen stepped onto the track for the 5,000 meter European Championship final with a totally different strategy, ditching his classic long surge dominance for a desperate yet calculated sit and kick masterclass. Jakob's performance here at these European Championships was an undeniable statement that he still owns the finish line and that he's still going to change the sport forever. Let's get into the race and the craziness. The starting line was stacked, highlighting how far European athletes have come in the distance events. 8 of the 24 participants had personal bests below 13 minutes, and 5 of them had run sub 13 minutes this season. Less than 30 years ago, the European record was over 13 minutes. Now a sub 13 is a prerequisite for even a chance to medal. You had the likes of Jimmy Gressier, the defending 10,000 meter world champion and defending 5,000 meter bronze medalist. Labalu of Switzerland and Brem of Germany were also in form, having run really fast earlier this year. The race goes off and it's clear what kind of race this is going to be just right from the get-go. And it's also clear what Ingebrigtsen's strategy is going to be. The race was slow. They went out in around 31 high, 32 low, and immediately the pack starts to string out. Jakob goes straight to the back. He's looking in on lane 1 and he tucks in. He tucks in about third last. And it seems that Gressier knows that Jakob is in some sort of form here because he tucks right in front of Jakob. He's also at the back. And the first kilometer is out in 2:45, a very pedestrian pace. And the first half of the race is just more of the same. There's a little navigating in the front and the mid pack, but Jakob and Gressier are staying out of it. They're staying at the back on the inside of lane 1, trying to run 5,000 meters exactly. But right about halfway in, there's an injection of pace. A 64 to 65 second lap was dropped. Gressier doesn't like his position and he starts moving up. He starts getting cold feet with this staying at the back position. Because the field was so far spread out, there's about a second and a half between the first and last place runners. And all of these athletes are fit enough to hit 64-second laps or faster for the last half of the race. But Jakob is patient. He's chilling at the back. But by 3,000 meters, Gressier is in third. He made a very strong move the last lap, and he didn't want any move to be made without him. And during this time, again, Jakob's still at the back. He's not panicking. He has race experience, but so does Gressier. So it's interesting to see how Gressier and Jakob look at these races. They look at them differently. And even in the slower pace race, Jakob just looks so much better than he did in Tokyo. Last year at World Championships, I was there. I watched Jakob firsthand in the 1,500 meter heats and the 5,000 meter heats and finals, and he just looked different. He was limping. And so far with the slower pace at this European Championship, he looks good. He wasn't limping, and he looks way better when he's running faster, so it was hard to tell early, but at least there wasn't a limp. But with 1,500 meters to go, the very front of the pack, it looks like the Big Dipper. Like there is a tail out the back, but 2 lanes wide and multiple people back is just full of people. Everyone's waiting for something to happen, but nobody's actually making the move. Gressier starts looking around. He's looking around for other athletes and probably for Jakob too. He wants to be sure if anybody makes a move that he's going to be right behind them. And a little after, Jakob moves to the front. He takes the lead of the race. And with 1,000 meters to go, it's a total shit show. People are tripping, catching balance, and bumping into each other. It's like this endless cascade of dominoes that are falling. It's actually a miracle that nobody fell. But Jakob is out of trouble. It's him in lane 1 and Gressier just on his outside. They literally exchange glances and smile. And it looks like Jakob is trying to communicate something with Gressier, and that something is to wait. The race is long, don't go yet. But soon after Gressier goes, he can't wait any longer. He's there to win just as much as Jakob is. And Labalu of Switzerland swings wide to the outside of Jakob and boxes him in, and he can't move, not even a little bit. At this point, this race is no longer Jakob's. He can't move. He has to run someone else's race. He's stuck, and it stays this way. Things aren't opening up. 500 meters to go. Jakob wants to get out, but he still can't. Gressier is setting himself up to win it from the front, and he's looking good. Labalu starts to fall off the pace, leaving room for Ingebrigtsen to swing wide, but Brem of Germany immediately replaces him and boxes Jakob back in. 1 lap to go, and they just ran a 60.5 400 meter, but half the field is still there. 300 to go, and Dagino of France pulls up behind Brem. Another option for Ingebrigtsen is gone. He can't wait for Brem to pass and swing out because of the Frenchman. He would have to wait and slow down too much, and he would let Gressier and the front just go too far in front of them and leave himself an astronomical task ahead of him to catch them in the last 200 meters. So Jakob stays. Labulu tries to make a move and swings wide with 200 meters to go, but he's got nothing left and tucks back into lane 1. It's now a 4-man race. Gressier, Brem, Ingebrigtsen, and Dagino. 130 to go. Gressier glances over his shoulder. He changes to his top gear, but here comes Brem. He has more left. He pulls alongside Gressier. Dagino matches Brem on the outside. Ingebrigtsen's still stuck. There's nowhere for him to go. There's nothing he can do. It's worst case scenario for Jakob. Gressier is slowing down. Brem is making his final kick, and he still can't swing out of his box. But Dagino can't match Brem, and Jakob finds a way with 65 meters to go to swing out all the way into lane 3 and passes Gressier. It's him and Brem, but Jakob is moving so much faster, and with 40 meters to go, in the blink of an eye, he passes him. And Jakob Ingebrigtsen defends his European 5,000 meter championship title. Oh my God, what just happened? There were so many questions and doubters before the race on Jakob's form, and the questions were answered in the most brutal way possible. Not only did he prove that he's back, but he proved it in a race that he had no business winning. He was in such a terrible spot. Jakob is not supposed to be the fast guy. He's not supposed to win in the last 100 meters of a slow race, especially after an Achilles injury, which he wasn't doing much speed yet at all. Yet he did it from a disadvantaged position. With 130 meters to go, there were 4 athletes in contention. Jakob was one of them, and he was the worst, if not the second worst position with 130 meters to go. Everybody had a clear line to first place if they were fit enough and fast enough to do it. Jakob didn't. He was at the mercy of the people beside him and in front of him, and he still pulled it off. This race showed you that it didn't matter what happened, Jakob was going to win. It didn't matter where he was throughout the race, or how fast it went out, or how slow it went out. There was only going to be one winner. And unlike the Commonwealth Games in the mile, where every athlete was racing for second place against Josh Kerr, these guys wanted Ingebrigtsen's scalp, and in the process got scalped themselves. What a race. And let's take a moment to appreciate here what just happened. The track world moves fast. One week you can be on top of the world, and a couple meets later you can be an afterthought for a medal at a global championship or a continental one. Jakob Ingebrigtsen had been dealing with repeat Achilles issues for the last 2.5 years. It affected his training for months at a time. In late 2023 and early 2024, Jakob had Achilles irritation that kept him from competing in his indoor season. He ended up doing extremely well in his outdoor season, running 3:26 for the 1500, but I think him missing that phase of his training affected him in the rounds in the Paris Olympic Games that year when he came 4th. Less than a year after that, after running the mile world record indoors in 2025, he had more Achilles problems that kept him out of the whole year until the Tokyo World Championships. He was able to get barely fit in that time for Tokyo and decided to run it anyways. The rumor is from his brothers that it even hurt for Jakob to jog. And in Tokyo, Jakob looked different, and not in a good way. I made a video about that right here called The Comeback of 2026, and I noted that Jakob was limping while he was racing, and that he better be careful or else he's going to re-injure himself or get another injury by compromising his Achilles. And that's exactly what happened. For the 3rd time, Jakob was dealing with Achilles issues. And it's this history that people were questioning Jakob's ability to come back in such a short time frame and do well at European Championships. He no longer has those years of consistent training behind him. His last 3 years have been awful with consistency. And with Jakob competing in Tokyo just for the sake of competition, even though he wasn't in good form, there were even more questions if Jakob was approaching the European Championships the same way. Was he there just to be there? We saw definite answers to both of those questions. Jakob's training has been consistent enough, and he's talented enough to be in good form after the last 3 years of bumps and bruises. And the answer to the question on whether Jakob was competing for the sake of competition was a loud and resounding no. He's here to win. He's here to take what's his. That move he made in the last 100 meters was something only a 1500 meter could pull off in a 5000. Being stuck behind someone and seeing your spot to swing wide with little space, moving at 13-second 100 meter pace, and being extremely fatigued at the same time is just so difficult to do, and he did it. In my last video on Jakob, I said that he could have an amazing comeback in 2026 only if he made some adjustments and doesn't relapse on his Achilles injuries or accumulate any new ones, like I said before. Not only did he get injured again, but he had surgery. I thought he was done for this year. I thought 2026 was a wash, and I could not have been more wrong. I'm willing to admit it. Some people just have it, and Jakob is one of those people. They have a sense of impending success that's not to be denied. The commentator at the end of the 5,000 meter had said that he'd been talking to Jakob's camp, and they told him that Jakob had been training for only 6 weeks. Whether that's for running in general or just training for a race, I don't know, but they are both so impressive. Of the many things Jakob confirmed this race, him still being a superstar to be dealt with for years to come was one of them. But he also confirmed that he's a 5,000 meter runner first. I don't know if he thinks that, but I have a feeling that some people on his camp think that. And by the time his career is over, I think he'll be one of the best 5,000 meter runners of all time. I cannot wait what's in store for Jakob for the rest of 2026 and 2027 and that whole incoming Olympic cycle. The 5,000 meters is going to be hectic. I have a feeling he's going to dominate, yet the 1,500 meters is wide open. If Jakob can put his name back into that hat of people who can win world championships and the Olympics, I think the track and field fans around the world are in for a massive treat. If you guys like this video, then you're going to love my last video where I broke down Josh Kerr's performance at the Commonwealth Games, where he took a race that was totally lost to a race that he absolutely dominated. To see more about that, click in the middle of the screen right here. Come on, I'll see you guys there.